everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do the Bookish Boxes and Buzzwords tag. So this is created by Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books a while ago. I'm not sure how long ago, and I saw it and wanted to do it. Elizabeth actually said, like, Chloe, you need to do this. And I've put it on my list, and then Steph from Steph's Romance Book Talk also tagged me lately. So I was like, okay, time to actually do this. So this tag, is all about your bookish buzzwords and what you love about books, what you don't love. And so let's just get into it. So the first one is your go-to genre or favorite type of book. So women's fiction, thrillers, some nonfiction. I love memoirs. I love anything revolving around mothering, parenting, that kind of stuff, exercise, so those nonfiction. I think I'm supposed to say more general on this. I'm probably going to mess this all up, but women's fiction, thrillers, and nonfiction, I'll say, are my favorites. Number 2, retellings you are drawn to. So I am not a classics reader, and a lot of the times I'll read a retelling and be like, I didn't even know that was a retelling. I don't know the source material. So I'm going to say Grey's Anatomy. Is that possible? Is that an answer? Because I love medical dramas and medical romances and that Grey's Anatomy feeling of doctors and all that kind of stuff and what's going on within the hospital. And I don't know why. I just love it. I love the show. I did stop watching. I can't remember when, but I have not watched all of it, but I love that. So, some of those retellings, but I don't know if it counts as a retelling, but I also have not read that many of them. So if you know of any good Grey's Anatomy-esque books, let me know. Number 3, lifestyles or careers of the book characters that you like. So you guys, I could be here forever. I think this is why I have not done this tag, because I love so many different things. So, pregnancy and motherhood, like I said, I really like if there's anything, especially teen pregnancies. I think it's really interesting to see how young girls navigate that and how they're treated, how that impacts them, how they make it work. And a lot of times that really strips down to the innocence and beauty of motherhood. And so pregnancy, motherhood, anything bookish. So a bookstore owner, a writer, anything like that. Teachers, I have taught in my life. I was a teacher before I went and got my master's in health education and kinesiology. So anything about teachers or in a school setting. I love YA high school books. I don't know why. I loved high school, so maybe that's why it's nostalgia for me. I don't know. Anything with athletes, specifically female athletes, I really love. Let's see, foodie things, bakers, cooks, I don't know, even a coffee shop owner, really anything like that. So there's a lot. Places or settings you are drawn to. So I love books set in cities. So I live in Kansas. I live in the suburbs. If you have ever been to Kansas, Missouri, this Midwest area, kind of right in the middle, there we have cities, but they're not huge. So I love reading about New York, London, just city life. It's so much different than my reality that I really like reading about it. And I love traveling and visiting cities. And so travel books I really like too, if it is somewhere that have been or am familiar with. However, I do like learning about new places too. So really, I feel like this tag is so hard for me because it's well, I like that too. But what I'm saying is I really don't love small town romance because it's just, I don't love living in a small town. And so it's not sexy to me. So relationships you love reading about. So my all-time favorite trope, I've said it once and I'll say it again, is first love, second chance. So I love reading about somebody having a first love because I think your first love is just so intense and different and innocent and sweet. And it's really you discovering who you are and who you are in light of a relationship and who you are and how you navigate that. And there's something just so sweet about that. And there's so much in your life that is going on if you have that first love when you're young, that it's you really either grow together or you don't. And I love seeing that. So first love, second chance. So when something like outside of them breaks them apart, and then they come back together later in life, and it's like coming home. And I love reading about that relationship. I also love mother daughter. I am the mom of two girls. I also am very close with my mom. Sisters, I have a sister. I love reading like female stories, I guess. So mother daughter, sisters, like multiple generations of women in a family, and then that first love, second chance. With that, I also love found family, because I don't think your family has to be blood to be family, and I love reading about relationships of like friends that become family, because I have a lot of those in my life that are not related to me by blood, but I would call them, sisters, best friends, whatever you want to call them. And so found family books are great too. Buzzwords in the title. So this one, I actually really couldn't think of any, like that you pick up the title or you pick up the book and just the title alone draws you in. So I don't know if it's something about like the road not taken, or again, something about baby or motherhood or something like that. Maybe, I don't really know. Multiple perspectives. I really like that. But that's also not in the title. So I don't know. I can't really think of any like specific words in a title that will make me pick it up on its own. Things on book covers that draw you in. So I am a fan of the illustrated covers. I know not everybody is, but I really like the illustrated covers, and I am intrigued. I also love when you get like a setting that looks really like charming. And I just said I don't like small town, but like especially for holiday books is what I'm thinking. Like if you see like a well lit bookstore, I think I'm thinking of The Bridge by I can't think of who, but I'll put up a picture. But there, like, that is really good. If there's any like sort of thriller or anything that has like baby shoes or an empty crib or something like that, those immediately kind of draw me in, or like an empty swing set. Those draw me in. Yeah, so I think all of those will at least make me like go to the book. I don't know if I'll necessarily pick it up, but those draw me in. Nonfiction buzzwords. So types of nonfiction you are drawn to, which I kind of answered this earlier, but anything related to pregnancy or motherhood, I think I love learning about it, but I also love the books that are like, there's a book called like Toddlers Are A-Holes, and things that will like make me laugh and kind of take me out of my own head and be like, okay, everybody deals with this. Here's some humor to get through it. And so I love both of those elements of like pregnancy or motherhood books. I also love, there's one by Katie Ryan called Brave Mom, Raising Strong Girls in a Complicated World, that really like empowers me and motivates me and it inspires me. So like I love all of that. I also love nonfiction about any sort of like athletic pursuit. So if you are a non-runner that wants to become a runner, or if you are a normal person that wants to climb a mountain, I love hearing about that. If you are an athlete that wants to do an ultra and you want to do that and take us along your process, cool, I'll read it. If you are an athlete and you want to make it pro, and I don't care anything about athletics, especially if it is a female athlete, but I don't necessarily care either way. Running is what I'm into, and so I really like books about running. I also love memoirs. If it's somebody that I either already know and like, or somebody I feel like I can really learn from. So like Trevor Noah, had no idea who that was going into his book, but I feel like I learned a lot about him. I've read a few of Michael J. Fox's because I really like him, and so reading his memoir and his story and really getting to know people more intimately, I feel like is really good. Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, I've read theirs. They make me laugh. I think I've even read Amy Schumer's. Again, not things that you're going to like remember forever, but also Leah Remini, she has a good one about Scientology. Like I just love celebrity memoirs if it's either a topic that I'm really interested or somebody I really like. If it's somebody I dislike, I'm not going to read it, because most of the time I will end up liking them even less after reading their memoir. So yeah, I don't know. I also love nonfiction about like self-help and how to be a better person, or how to The How of Happiness, I think, or the one by Gretchen Rubin. There's also The Lazy Genius Way by Kendra Adachi. That one like helps give you different strategies to like work harder or work smarter, not harder. and lots of things like that. So I also enjoy those from time to time. Next is medical or physical conditions of a character. So one thing that I don't see enough of and I want is characters with food intolerances. I very rarely see that. And I am a lactose intolerant vegetarian, which means, especially here in meat and potatoes country in the Midwest, eating out and things are hard. Also, there are just tons of people who have different intolerances, whether that be lactose or gluten or whatever it may be. And I feel like it is very rare that you find a book that has that. So I really want to see more of that. However, ones that I do see a fair amount of are amnesia. I really like a good amnesia story because, again, it's normally that hospital setting, and I love that, like Grey's Anatomy, hospital-esque setting. Books with plus size rep, I really like and think we need more of a more good plus size rep, because I for one, on my own journey, am wanting, I am not plus size, so I can't necessarily speak to the representation in a lot of books, but I envision this world where bodies are neutral and we all have body, even if not body love, body compassion, and body respect, that it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just a vessel. It's just what you are put here on earth to do, all the things that you are going to do, and yet our society is so ground in a certain image. I'm getting on a soapbox, but plus size rep, just to move us steps towards all bodies are great. And so I think there needs to be more of that. And I love reading books that have good representation in that. The time of year, the time in history, or the time in the future that you are drawn to. So I really like contemporary books. I love a dual timeline. If it's like then and now, I'm all about that. I personally like World War II historical fiction. I don't know why. I feel like it's because I know a fair amount, I guess, about that time period. So I don't have to spend a lot of brain power understanding context. So, dual perspectives or dual timelines. So I love those. So now there are 2 bonus questions. So bonus number 1, any other bookish boxes or buzzwords not already mentioned? So I said a lot about athletes. I love sports romances. YA contemporaries, especially if they have big families. I love that. Trying to think anything else that I didn't mention. YA contemporaries, I feel like a lot of those tropes will be good buzzwords. Not that I want to read them all back to back to back, but just I feel like with YA, you pretty much know what you're going to get, and it's a good refresher every now and again. So I feel like you find found family a lot in that. And I love big families. And so I think I've about covered a lot of them. Bonus number 2, what bookish boxes or buzzwords, Elizabeth, this is a tongue twister. Bookish boxes or buzzwords will turn you away from a book. So typically, if there's somewhere in the synopsis that says sexy, steamy, blah, 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 I probably won't read it just because I don't prefer that in my books, and it seems to take me out of the story. So usually I'll skip that. I am, I think, in the minority that if a book is about a circus, I'm out. I don't like circus books. I don't know why. I don't know. Detective stories, if I read a thriller and it's following the detective, I almost always don't like that. If it's James Patterson, I will make an exception, but I almost always won't pick that up. If there's anything that's gruesome and gory or something like that, I won't pick that up. But pretty much I'm open to anything. And so there's not a whole lot. There's definitely some things that I'm meh, I don't know if I need that. But as you can tell by my overflowing bookshelves, I'm not a very discriminative, I pretty much pick up everything. So that is the Bookish Boxes and Buzzwords tag by Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. And so thank you to Elizabeth and Steph for tagging me in this, and let me know your answers. I will leave all of the questions down below. This is so I feel like I could go on for days, and I'm probably going to edit this and be why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say this? Because there's so much I love in books. But here's a good start. Let me know your answers, and thank you so much for watching.